What's up, Pante?
In the previous episode, we left from the northernmost point of America, Prudhoe Bay. We went into the Arctic Ocean in 2-degree weather and did the Dalton Highway again, but this time with a lot of mud.
We're in Fairbanks, about to hit the road. I filled up with gas, and like magic, this part of the windshield just came off. Do you remember that it broke a long time ago? Well, we're improvising, but that's how it is. I said this windshield would make it to Alaska, and it did. This piece is crucial. Without it, the aerodynamics are completely off. Anyway, since I have some time these days, I'm going to fix it. Here, everything gets loose. This windshield. At some point, it's going to have to be replaced. Poor thing. We're off. We've already left Fairbanks and we're heading south in Alaska to a city called Anchorage, which many of you have probably heard of. I don't know if any of you know it, but anyway, I'll tell you what it's like there. Look behind me. See how the whole sky is cloudy? Well, that's because of the fires. The fires are still very active throughout this whole area. And the road that takes you to Anchorage, the fastest one, I don't know if it's closed or not. On Google Maps, it shows us closed. On a website, I checked about the road conditions here. It shows us open, but with delays. I'm taking a chance to go see what happens, so we'll find out if we can get through or not. Look at this, look at this. Caution, the fires are active, and I don't know what the heck else it says. So we're heading into the fire zone. Look at the fires over there. And we're going straight through that area. Look, the traffic stopped here. How are you? How are you doing? I have to go to Anchorage. Is the road good? No, it's closed. It's closed, but is it closed? It's closed, but we have pilot cars that go through there. But I can go with, yes, it's open, but yes. But I can go with the pilot. Yes, perfect. I'll wait here. Thank you very much. All right, we're saved. Let's wait. They've already started to go through all the vehicles. There's a really long line and I've been waiting for 40 minutes literally. Something really crazy is that, look, an alert pops up here. See? Nally evacuation alert. Bro, well, it pops up on my phone. Good thing I already left. The detour we had to take was 150 extra miles. We're talking about like 220 kilometers extra. No. It doesn't make sense. I'd rather wait here for 40 minutes, go through calmly, and that's it. Now we're finally starting. Ugh, it's 30 degrees out. I was dying from the heat. We just started going through the checkpoint. Let's see how many kilometers this is closed for. 26.6 is the reading where I started on my odometer. Let's see how many we have. What surprises me is how organized they are. It's incredible. I mean, from something like a fire, something big, to the smallest thing like, I don't know, fixing a street. It's incredible how well organized they are.
Pilot cars are something very common in the United States and Canada, especially when it comes to road maintenance. But it's going to be the first time on my trip dealing with a wildfire.
We're starting to get deeper and deeper into the wildfire zone. Look, you can already see all the smoke, but look at how weird this is. A message popped up here on my tablet, and my tablet isn't connected to Wi-Fi or anything. Yeah, honestly, it's starting to make it hard for me to breathe. I'm going to get the glove and put it on. It's killing me. Let's see if I can. There, I'm wetting it as much as I can. At least I get out, right? Ugh, no, I swear. Oh, how it changed. Whenever you're in a fire situation, wet a cloth and put it on your nose, on your face, so you can breathe properly. No, I swear I was running out of air already. We started with 26 kilometers, remember? 26.5. And now we're at 42.5. It seems like this is the most intense part of the fire. I'm not kidding, my eyes are even starting to burn. Look, there's one of the fires in here. The firefighters are here. There are several spots there that have already been put out, it seems. No, look at this. This is crazy. It seems like it's from a movie. Oh, poor people. There's already a house caught in the middle. I don't know if you can see it. Poor people, look, it's crazy, isn't it? The fire looks pretty spread out everywhere. I need to see it for myself. The worst part is it didn't stop there. Well, it keeps going quite a bit that way too. I don't know if you can see it, but the sun looks orange, hidden by clouds because of the smoke. Oh man, look at all this. It's full of smoke everywhere. I mean, imagine there's a mountain over there and you can't see it. Whoa, there's the start of a fire over there. Look. Do you see it? Up there. Just now. Are they really going to stop everyone here? Have you ever lit a campfire and that first white smoke comes at you? The one that makes it hard to breathe? Well, that's exactly what I've been feeling for the last 10 kilometers. No, this is terrible. I'm not sure if you can see it, but I think they're fighting it over there. Look at the fire. All right, let's go. With the fire and everything, let's do it. There are a lot of firefighters deployed everywhere. No, everything is catching fire. Of course, all of these people are making sure that no fire starts in any of these areas. But look, see how everything is burning? The whole forest further in is on fire. It's bordering with, on top of that, I want to talk. Even worse, we've gone 21 kilometers since we left the stop. I had to put the glove back on because I just couldn't stand it anymore. Look at this, there's very little visibility. We've been like this for almost 30 kilometers going at 60 or 70, something like that. Just imagine, I've been breathing this in for about half an hour now. Look, a fire truck, they're heading over there, probably to put out what just caught fire. The affected area is pretty big.
It's not good to see the forest catching fire, but it's something natural. It usually happens every year. That's why they're well prepared and plan everything in detail.
Look, it seems like they had to stop all this construction. You can see everything is at a standstill. Otherwise, everyone would be working. It's impossible to work like this. No, look at this. There's a hot spot right there. Look, everything is still catching fire down there. Whoa, look, a tree is falling. It's intense. Look, a tree is falling. And on top of that, the trees are really close to the road here.
Obviously, you can't feel the smoke through the camera, but I've rarely been in a situation like this where I literally couldn't breathe.
I'm gonna get myself really wet. I'm gonna get out of here. There it is. Look, the water is dripping down here. I soaked the whole thing. I couldn't take it anymore.
Luckily, we've already passed the affected area after quite a few kilometers breathing in smoke.
Well, we made it. Wow, look, this is full of ash. That's crazy. Do you know how much we did? Look, we just hit 80 kilometers. So from 26 to 80 kilometers, we're talking about 54 kilometers going through the whole area affected by the fires. Look at the line of cars. People, motorcycles, cars, trucks. No one is spared here. Oh no, I swear, did you see the line? The ash? How did it look on the camera? It's there too. See, look, that's ash. That's it. We've just had a new experience of going through wildfires in Alaska. Who would have thought? I swear, at one point I thought this has to end because I couldn't breathe and my head hurt. You've done your job, little glove. If the little glove doesn't cover the camera when it rains, it saves me from suffocating to death. We're crossing the Tanana River, that's what it's called. Look at this beautiful bridge. It's an old bridge and a pretty wide river. And we're passing through this small town called Nenana, which originally started as a railroad station.
The Tanana River is located in central Alaska and it's a tributary of the Yukon River. In winter, the river freezes with a layer of ice that can be more than a meter thick.
We arrived at a small village called Heli to refuel. We're already near Denali with the whole mountainous area over there. But I want to show you, look, here there's a board, it says fire information, and here it lists all the affected areas. So you can be aware of what's happening and in which areas we're going to refuel. Look.
We're in Heli, a town located 18 kilometers from Denali National Park. Heli has only 1,000 inhabitants, some of whom leave during the winter season. There are activities like rafting, four-wheel drive tours, and airplane tours.
We've already refueled. I got delayed doing a couple of things I had to do since I had service, and we're in this little town called Heli. which is very beautiful. Look at the view. We're on the edge of Denali National Park. The truth is, I'm a bit tired. I didn't do many kilometers today, but to be honest, the 55 kilometers of smoke really wore me out. I mean, they left me exhausted, literally. Look, there's a moose. Look how beautiful. It's right here next to the road, grazing like it's nothing. Look how gorgeous, how tall it is, you see?
Heli also has its own food scene, where many travelers come to relax and unplug. But we keep going towards the Anchorage area, more specifically to a nearby city called Palmer.
Feels like it's just beginning.
Well, today is coming to an end. Look at this beautiful place we're in. We're in a rural area on the outskirts of Palmer. And you might say, hey Sebastian, what do you have here? A bag, yes, a little grocery bag because I went shopping. Because we're going to meet up with a friend, an Argentine friend who's also traveling by motorcycle. And I have a special mission, which is kind of a rescue, right? What is he coming to do? You'll see why soon. How beautiful, how the day cleared up, how everything changed completely. Such lovely houses. Look, I'll tell you in advance, I'm going to buy some sweet things to sweeten the heart, to sweeten the soul. I think, Cruz here? How's it going, man? We finally meet. Like I told you, I came with a mission, and I have the mission right here.
I'm here for the ransom. How's it going, man?
Tomas, my friend monorider, I haven't shared this before, and I'm not sure anyone noticed. When I was in Stewart, for those who remember, was when we arrived at the Salmon Glacier on snowmobiles. Exactly. I forgot my little thermos, which I missed. I left it behind, and he happened to go after me, so I didn't know where I had left it. He says he'll bring it to me, but how many times did I tell you we're meeting today?
For about a month, we kept discussing meeting up.
We'll meet. I'll see you today. I won't see you today. I'll see you today.
When you approached, I left, and so on.
Like that? Well, like a kid, you took it to school everywhere?
Yes, it goes everywhere. I made space for it, but now I'm unsure about the motorcycle and what to put.
Spectacular, you can bring wine, so when you camp here at night, you'll have some. Tomas is on Instagram as Mono Rider, so go follow him. He's traveling on a Giro X Pulse 200 from the Giro brand from Argentina to Alaska as well.
That's right, I made it from Argentina. Slower, but we made it. No,
But it doesn't matter.
Yes.
I usually go slow and only like to go fast on land. Otherwise, I move slowly.
No, thank you. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Same here. You're awesome, a good person, a really good person.
Thank you very much. Honestly, I never thought I'd travel with a case, but they gave it to me in Mexico, and I loved it. It's super compact. Yeah.
Yeah, it's compact.
It's waterproof, so take care of it. I really need it here.
Listen to me. It's Pantera, all left out there on the grass. Yours sleeps with a cover and on asphalt. Mine sleeps without a cover and on the grass. I think the name fits.
We woke up in Palmer at Andrew's house, who lives in a neighborhood that has a landing strip right in the middle. Yes, you heard that right.
You were looking.
Good morning.
7 in the morning.
They woke me up at 7 in the morning. Yeah, something incredible, but we got up. We're with Andrew. We're staying at his house, and we're here with Tommy too.
And Andrew has literally in his backyard, like a kid's dream, his own plane. We have the house, we have the garage, and we have the small plane. And the craziest thing is that, well, there's a landing strip back there. It's like a gated community, where in the middle of the gated community, everyone shares a landing strip. And all the neighbors, for example here, the neighbor in that house right there has a hangar. Look, there, that big hangar. We're going to go for a ride, we're going to go fly, Andrew told me. Do you want to fly? Of course, so we're going to have a new experience as always.
When it comes to new experiences, we're always there, because we don't have the privilege of flying in Alaska every day, right?
Let me tell you, this type of aircraft here is very common to see in Alaska, with these giant wheels. And you might have wondered, hey, they're huge and they're pretty good shock absorbers, right? I mean, well, this type of aircraft is called a bush plane, and those who fly them, good morning. Yeah, they're called bush pilots. Why? Because, well, they're called that because they're pilots and aircraft that are equipped to land. They land on any type of terrain. That's why they have these large tires to absorb any kind of impact. For example, it's very common to land cross-country on dry riverbeds, right? There are a lot of rocks, so they can roll right through. It's like off-roading, but with a plane. They land anywhere. Let's go.
Let's go, let's go.
You saw that when it comes to having new experiences, Sebastian is always there.
Subscribe. Got a fire, lit the smoke until we quit or till your parents find us out low.
Bush planes are some of the most common and famous aircraft in Alaska and Canada, since many of them land in unexpected places like rivers, frozen lakes, open fields, and glaciers. Ladies and gentlemen, please fasten your seatbelts. 1,
2, 3, so we can overcome the bloodhound.
We're about to take off. Look, we're already at the end of the runway. Ready for takeoff. Go, go.
Go.
A short distance, a very short distance for takeoff. Look at this. Here, the airspace is mostly visual in terms of the flights and the way people fly. There are a lot of aircraft. For example, here Andrew uses an app where he can see the different aircraft that are nearby, but like I said, it's quite visual. They have a maximum allowed altitude. Honestly, here everyone has a plane, whether it's seaplanes, which are the ones that land on water, or like these, which are bush planes, which are the most traditional ones here. But for example, right now while we're flying, you can't see it from here, but there's an airport over there. We just passed another airport on our left, and now we're heading to a glacier. The glacier is right ahead of us. Alaska has vast regions without roads or land access. Bush planes make it possible to reach isolated villages, national parks, fishing and hunting areas, and scientific outposts. These planes are vital for transporting people, supplies, mail, and responding to medical emergencies. We're going to do a bush pilot landing. Something traditional here in Alaska. We're going to land in a clearing here on the river. Look, check it out. It's incredible how they just drop them suddenly. They drop them and say, hey, I saw a clearing, and just nose it in. This is something very common here. I mean, landing anywhere to, I don't know, go see animals. If you want to have a barbecue, I don't know, you bring your firewood here, you want to grill some meat anywhere, and you just land. We're flying at a very low speed. These planes are ultralight, so that's what allows you to fly very slowly at a very low speed, and it also lets you do these kinds of maneuvers, right? They're called bush pilots, the pilots of bush planes, and they're highly respected in aviation.
I finally feel.
So hey,
That's it.
here what they practice a lot is short field landings. So that's why sometimes they hit hard, or well, they try to bring it down however they can on a really short strip. So it's about getting it down, and that's why the wheels, they have absorbed so much of the impact. What an experience. We're flying over the Kinyang Glacier. This glacier is on the northern edge of the Chubas Mountains. It's over 45 kilometers long and about 8 kilometers wide. Look at this madness, this beauty, it's truly gorgeous. And down here we have an incredible number of icebergs, pieces that have broken off from the glacier. Look at the sheer scale of this beauty. I'm going absolutely crazy. Look at this. Oh. The river where we landed is also the Kinya River, and well, all that water comes straight from the glacier.
But this makes us feel like it's just beginning.
We're going down because, for example, there's a helicopter here. Can you see the small green arrow down there? And we're here. So we're flying much lower so that the helicopter has its own airspace, and well, so we don't have any problems.
Been here before.
After an hour of spectacular flying, we return to solid ground to continue our journey.
We let it all.
Andrew, thank you very much. You're welcome. Yeah, thank you. What can I say?
Thank you.
My happy face says it all, right?
A dream. It was a dream to have flown
In these bush plains,
and to have landed on a river.
on top of the glacier.
Cool.
Cause we knew that this might be our last time. And we could be lovers in a crazy romance.
We got on Pantera and continued our journey south toward the city of Anchorage.
If there's something I love, it's traveling along these back roads where you pass through a bunch of little towns that keep their essence, you know? And it's not as polluted as the city. All cities are in a way polluted by stress and chaos, you know? Not all of them, obviously, but well, the vast majority. What a sight. Seriously. Look, this was the old bridge. And now we're crossing the new one. We're crossing the Niva River. Notice how a lot of people come here to take pictures on foot because you can't come in by vehicle. Wow, what an incredible place. Yeah. Oh man, look how this guy stopped, man. Oh, how can he stop like that? Oh my god. I don't know, but I think you can't stop there. I don't get it. There was a cop there. I mean, there were 2 yellow lines marked and it was on a curve. I guess it was allowed because the police didn't say or do anything. It's like the world is upside down. Here they stop you if you go 5 miles over the speed limit or for anything else, but if you're on a curve, double yellow line, turning left, nothing happens. Honestly, I just don't understand those things sometimes. I'm telling you. We're arriving in Anchorage via the Glen Highway. And notice that here on the map it shows we're in military zones. In Anchorage, I knew there were a lot of military bases, but mostly Air Force bases. Look how everything shows up in red for me. See? All of this shows up in red for me. It's incredible. All of this belongs to the United States Air Force. Look, here it says Elmendorf Air Force. See? That is Elmendorf Air Force, and it's one of the main activities in Anchorage. Everything related to the military, also tourism, and the whole port area, right, which handles a lot of oil. A very warm welcome to Anchorage. We've arrived in the largest city in Alaska. This city has absolutely everything. This is where the main businesses in Alaska are located. Many companies are based here as well. This is the downtown area. We're passing right through downtown Anchorage. There's a lot of tourism, you know, in this whole area. And look, over there we have the Pacific Ocean. Let's get to know a little more. Look at how beautiful the houses are in this whole area. In 1914, the city was founded as a railway center for the Alaskan Road Trail, which was the railway company that set up here in Anchorage. Another fact is that in 1964, Anchorage suffered a very strong 9.2 earthquake which shook the whole city, and they had to rebuild it. Look at this beautiful mural here. They had to completely rebuild it. That also played a big role in modernizing the city again, and is why we see the infrastructure that's here today. It looks like a pretty neat, clean, and beautiful city.
We leave Anchorage and head toward a town I've long wanted to visit, though it's still some distance away. So let's enjoy this spectacular road with the most incredible landscapes in Alaska.
Something special. Look.
At this view, the sea is at its lowest point right now because so much beach is exposed. Notice that here you can see the land, see? It's at its lowest point. But what a panoramic, scenic, spectacular route. And everything that's coming now that we're gonna keep doing. You might be wondering, Seba, where are we going? Well, we're heading south in Alaska. We're heading toward the peninsula.
This is one of the most scenic routes in Alaska, with its lakes and mountains accompanying you at every moment. It's home to glaciers, forests, and wildlife.
Look, to my right here, let me see if I can show you, there are the train tracks. There are very few roads here, very few routes because obviously due to the climate and access and so on. Notice that this road was built along the edge of the perimeter and runs along the mainland, right? And next to it we have the railroad, the train. It's impressive to see and analyze each project, each road, how it was built, why the access routes were in Alaska.
Welcome to Alaska. It's never too late to welcome you again and again, right?
Subscribe.
I stopped to refuel, and since we're here, I'm going to eat something. But since we forgot the meat, I'll take the opportunity to buy something to have to eat, because if not, I'll end up like a horse eating only lettuce. What a beautiful road. And this is just getting started. You know, throughout the trip, I've gotten really used to eating with very little seasoning. Because of this, I got used to buying a vegetable or something and just eating it as is. And I love it.
Thank you.
Why is the railroad so important everywhere in the world? Especially here in this area, the first thing they build is the railroad. This goes back to the Second World War, and afterwards, over the years, they ended up building the road we're on right now. All these places are very isolated, very inhospitable, and they needed a way to access them. Well, the main way was by sea, because all these places have small ports, but the railroad was very important. And it's something that really catches my attention and also gives me a certain sadness and nostalgia, because in so many parts of Latin America we find a lot of abandoned train tracks that have been replaced by roads, but that have been and still are fundamental for the movement and transportation of a lot of goods.
Save my money and stay with you one more night. 'Cause at the end of my drive, she's waiting for me.
We're going to go to a place I've marked that I wanted to visit called Whittier. This city, which is quite a small city, has a very unique history. We crossed the train tracks and Whittier is 12 kilometers away.
We are arriving at Whittier, a little-known destination, but one that hides a story worth its weight in gold.
To get to Whittier, there's a very particular way to get there. You'll see how we enter. To get there, we first have to pay $13. And you might say, how? But are you entering a town? Well, you'll see why. Hi, how are you? $13, right? 13. He speaks Spanish. 13, do you speak Spanish? A little. A little, we're doing very well. Yes, with a little, we're fine. Good. Perfect. We have to wait $35, and they told us to wait here. So look how cute the little bears are. This place is going to blow your mind. I'm here with Fernando Español, who's been traveling from Chile on his Tenere 700. He's been traveling, that's where I started. How are you? All good? All good. A pleasure. He first said he wasn't into watching videos, but then he started dropping all these details, and I was like, you don't watch much, but more and more keeps coming out. In the end, this guy surprises you, man. He tells me, your bike has 90,000 kilometers. How do you know that? These Pantheras, he says to me. So you do watch videos? I tell him. What are you? Everything? Forget that they're not Panthers. Yeah, I watch some. Hey, that's great. It's great to run into you here. And well, now you're also finishing America. Yes. Well, now you just have to go back to Chile. Perfect. So, well, it's a pleasure. And now we're crossing together. Yes, we're crossing together. Yes, perfect.
There's push. Let's go. Let's go. There's a new moon in that. Thank you for the video.
They told us we had to wait 35 minutes before we could cross to Whittier. But you might be wondering where we're going to cross. Well, be patient. I'll tell you in a moment.
There's a you.
Bueno. Alright, they've given us the signal so we can go in. Tada, tada, tada. Wow. You might be wondering, Seba, where are you going? Where are you headed? Well, this place is crazy. Well, like they say in Spain, it's amazing, man. Literally. Look how everything is getting smaller. It's perfect. It's a perfect little house that we're going to enter. The little house of happiness. And here it comes together, and we're gonna get on the train tracks. The instruction is that we go down the middle. Welcome to the Whittier tunnel. Look at this. This tunnel is 4 kilometers long. You have no idea how cold it is here. It was built during World War II by the military to connect Whittier with Anchorage. Look at how old they are and how perfectly they built it. The means of transportation at that time was the train. It wasn't made for cars. Later, in 2000, just recently, they finally added vehicle access. The particular thing about this is that about every hour, vehicles from one direction pass through, meaning 1 hour they go into Whittier, and the next hour they leave Whittier. This is one way only, and this is also shared with the train, not just with vehicles. The tunnel was mainly used to supply the military stationed in Whittier during World War II, linking Whittier to Anchorage. We're almost out of the tunnel. We've been in here for about 7 or 8 minutes, more or less. We're done, we've passed through, and I can say welcome to Whittier. Here we have the cars waiting. I'm seeing a lot of trailers with fishing boats. Wow! We have the glacier over there in the distance. No, this place is crazy. Welcome to Whittier.
Welcome to Whittier, one of the most mysterious towns in Alaska, but above all, one of the most unique in the world.
We're entering the little town of Whittier, and here we can see all the boats. I want to show you this, which is very interesting. Look at the number of train tracks there are. Here we can also see a lot of fishing boats on their trailers. It's kind of like a little daycare for them, as you can see. Because, well, the whole pier area is also pretty small. So that's why they must have this plan B of keeping all the boats out of the water. We're passing through the loading, unloading, and storage area. In these big barrels you see here, that's where they usually carry the fish. They're like giant refrigerators where they put all the fresh fish. A place with a lot of history.
The chemical center, eh? Okay.
This was the old military building which was built back in 1948. Pretty incredible, right?
You would die sooner than you probably.
Behind me we have the bunker building, one of the gems here in Whittier, whose construction began in 1949 when World War II was already ending during the Cold War era. This place could house up to 1,000 soldiers because Whittier was founded as a military base. This leads directly to the Pacific Ocean, so it was a port, and it still functions as a port, but at that time it supplied everything needed for the United States Army, more specifically in Alaska. Inside this building, there was absolutely everything needed to be able to live in Whittier. Inside here, there was a hospital, a jail, schools, supermarkets, a theater for 350 people, a beauty salon, that is, a barber shop, a hair salon. It was a place completely suitable for enduring the winter and really functioning as a bunker, right? They even had a shooting range inside here. It's incredible. Just imagine that here the snow reaches 6.5 meters high. Nowadays, this place is completely abandoned because at one point the port of Whittier was closed, so the military took everything out, everything was dismantled, and it was left abandoned. Later on, when Whittier started to grow commercially, the new building was constructed. The colorful one I'm showing you in the drone shots replaced this one. But it houses not only military personnel, but also merchants and people who live here in Whittier. It's a building where most of the people who live here in Whittier actually live, right? It's wild they left this place. You know what? There was even a church here. And you could get to the school through tunnels, so you didn't have to go outside, which obviously, as you can imagine, was covered in snow. We're at the port. We're passing through the port area. What surprises me is that everything is just so openly accessible, let's say. The port area isn't strictly marked, and you can enter or pass through. It's like we're riding the motorcycle right next to the containers, next to the train tracks, and this is all in the middle of port activity. It's not closed off or marked. Look at how many jet skis there are, how many water scooters. And now, we're passing by the other building, which has replaced the bunker building. 80% of the population lives here. It's crazy to think that everyone lives here and they have absolutely everything here. This also belongs to the United States Navy.
This building, called Beige Tower, is where literally the whole town lives. Well, almost. Whittier has about 214 inhabitants and at least 180 live there.
This is the old part of the port. Well, it looks like it's been renovated a bit, but notice how beautiful it is with stone and wood. Very nice. It has a restaurant, a cafe inside. Very beautiful place. Something I want to tell you. There's cell signal here. Yes, that's good to know. There's signal in case someone wants to come. And there's also lodging. Honestly, I didn't check because the plan is to keep going, but oh well. Honestly, I didn't check the... One of the main activities in Whittier, besides fishing, is the transfer of passengers and goods. That's why you see the port so busy. And also, many cruise ships stop here in Whittier, since with the tunnel, they have much faster access to Anchorage. You can see how many boats there are. Well, that's obviously because of fishing, since here in Whittier, many small excursions set out both for tourism and for locals, as well as for commerce. They go out to fish in deep waters, right? Here they fish for salmon, halibut, and cod. And well, you can see dolphins, whales, and seals. Well, you can see absolutely everything. And look at this landscape. It's truly beautiful to be in this place.
If you ask, I'll tell you.
Whittier receives more than 700,000 tourists every summer, attracted by its glaciers, landscapes, and fishing.
You don't mind one way or the other, yes. I guess the sun will come out. Let's go.
Let's go. Way to go, Fernando. He has the same name as my dad. My dad was also named Fernando. Alright, Whittier, thank you. It was nice to meet you. Oh, look, a bear, a bear, a bear. Look at that crazy guy. That's incredible. He was in there. Let's see. Let's go check it out. Oh, he's going inside. He's going in. He's going in. He's going in. He's going in. No, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. The bear came out from inside here. It was hiding inside the marina building. Imagine, what a cute little guy. You're having a coffee and suddenly a bear comes out.
Don't forget that we're in their habitat, more precisely in their backyard, so it's very common to run into these kinds of animals in these places.
Let's jump in the shower.
We're arriving at the tunnel. Let's hope it's open, please. Yes, I think so. I think it's already open because a vehicle just went through. Hi. Is it open now? I think it's already open, so wait. Okay, and can you go through now? Okay, Berth, sure. The motorcycles go last when they're about to close the bridge. That's when the motorcycles go. Alright, let's go again. We're going back into the Whittier tunnel to take our hats off to this work of engineering. We're going in again. Let's get to the center of the lane and go for it. How much does the temperature drop in here? It's 16 degrees. I don't have a jacket on or anything. We're done. We just finished the tunnel and the tunnel has some gates. It closes at 10:30, 11 at the latest. See you. Bye, Fur. It was nice meeting you. We're splitting up from Fur. There goes Fur and we're heading south. I'm freezing. I just put on my winter gear, the inner layer and gloves, because I was wearing summer gloves and had nothing underneath. The temperature dropped quite a bit, 16 degrees, and you can feel it. Look, it's amazing. The sunset is here. Let's hit the road. Heading south. Let's go. Thank you.